Hello, Namaste, Jai Hind. Welcome to Lumos Talkies, inspired by Harry Potter. And today I'm going to be reviewing the teaser of the latest Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone series that has been dropped a few days back. And let me start by saying that I love Harry Potter. Goes without saying. Especially being a millennial, I grew up with the books, and I am someone who and people who love to read and love to get into the exercise of comparing their imagination to the directors once the books are translated into movies, be it Coppola's Godfather, be it the Lord of the Rings or the Harry Potter movies. I was someone who would read the books, imagine what the world would look like, what Hogwarts would be like, what Harry would look like, the space-time orientation, the entire world that you create in your head. And then when you see the movies directed by someone else and conceived by someone else, and you love to compare that to how you would have imagined it would have played out. And let me start with saying that the first two films came pretty close, because I remember I remember clearly the first movie came out in 2001 and I had already read the first book, and then it became sort of a pattern, and I was in the third standard and 8 years old, and I remember reading the book in my third standard from the school library, and 2 years later I saw the first movie. So yes, it has left a huge imprint on my subconscious, something that my entire generation has grown up with, most of us. And we would cringe when we would watch the Hindi dubbed versions but it was quite fun on television later on when we grew up into adults. So the first two films came pretty close to our imagination, because the warmth and the bright color palette that the first that Chris Columbus, I think, used in the first two films came pretty close to what Hogwarts is supposed to make you feel like. So that was nice. But then we lost the OG Dumbledore, the actor who was playing. He died, unfortunately. And then he was replaced by another actor. But then again, we sort of, learned to live with him. And he also did a pretty good job. It's no secret that everyone loves Snape and McGonagall, and you love to hate Snape, but then eventually hate to love him as well. But for the current generation, I think this is going to be a reference point. Kids, Gen Alpha, Gen Zs, I think I've already watched the films, and I don't know if they've read. I'm not pretty sure if they've read the books. They've taken the effort to read them. So let's get to the teaser. Harry's casting on point, Hagrid on point, McGonagall on point, Dumbledore pretty much on point. Snape is black, not a problem. This is all about suspension of disbelief. Does magic exist or not? Well, we are still waiting for a Hogwarts letter, pun intended. But we don't want to grow up when it comes to Harry Potter. There's no season or time for it. You can just watch it anytime and watch the movies anytime and pick up the book anytime and just go back to your childhood. So as far as the casting is concerned, a lot of people are a little skeptical about an African American playing Snape, but if the actor does a good job, I don't think anyone's going to mind that. Again, the same thing applies with the casting of Hermione. See, again, if you read the books, Ginny is pretty much close to what she's supposed to look like in the books, but Hermione is not supposed to look like, if you're going by the physical appearance of the character from the book. She's got pockmarks on her face, and she's just a geek. But we did, Emma Watson did end up becoming all of our childhood crush. So I guess that's just because we grew up with her. We hit our puberties by the time Prisoner of Azkaban came, and we were like, whoa, wow, she is pretty, and all of us wanted to date her. So but then again, I guess even before it was a topic that boys and girls can be friends or can be platonic. I think Harry and Hermione dynamic pretty much did it way ahead of its time, and no doubt J.K. Rowling is a genius. Everyone I'm sure is really excited to see what Voldemort's going to look like, but we're not going to find out before the fourth book is revealed. In the form of the episodes, which is my favorite book, by the way, Goblet of Fire. So I'm hoping, like how the directors had to take creative liberties with the movies. Like for instance, in the fourth book, in the second task, the underwater task, Dobby makes a cameo and gives Harry the gillyweed that enables him to breathe underwater. But in the movie, just to rush through the screenplay, I can understand. And we were like, oh man, why did they make Neville give him the gillyweed? We wanted to see Dobby again. And then we only get to see him much later in the Deathly Hallows. And who has not wept? Cedric, when Cedric dies, you weep. When Dobby dies, you weep. When Dumbledore dies, you weep. And then when Snape dies, you weep. So I mean, let's see. Let's wait and watch. Yeah, I don't really have a major problem with the casting. Even Ron, pretty much. Ron is not as much of a dud as as he was made out to be in the movies, the Warner Brothers movies. Ron here looks like he's not as daft. He does not. I mean, they pretty much. There seems to be an equilibrium between the three, from whatever I could gauge. The Quidditch sequences, I can't wait, because a lot of Quidditch they had to skip in the movies to cut to the chase and to cut to the plot, and to finish resolving the conflict in the screenplay. So that is something to watch out for, and to really look forward to, because the books, if they will, I'm sure, be doing justice to all the details, all the different classes, and that's what it's all about, right? You want to be exported to Hogwarts. You want to be sitting in the classroom with them, doing the tasks with them, playing Quidditch with them, flying on the broom with them, and really, really getting to indulge in the backstories of all the characters, be it Professor Lupin, or be it Snape, or be it Aunt Petunia, and why she had the grouse for her sister, the lifelong grudge with her dead sister that she has, or she had. Again, the palette is very 90s. I think the treatment that the director has taken in this particular series is pretty edgy and dark and realistic, and that template, which I don't know. It could go either ways. Again, then when I said that when the director changed in the movies after Chamber of Secrets, Dumbledore changed and the color palette changed from everything that was warm and bright and sunny. It all became very gloomy and blue and dark and dull, and because the Dark Lord was rising. A lot of people, I think the majority of the Potterheads that I've interacted with, say that Prisoner of Azkaban is their favorite in the movies. In my case, the only thing that I hated in the fourth movie, and which is my favorite book, Goblet of Fire, and ironically, it does not have Quidditch. That's the only book which does not have Quidditch, apart from the Deathly Hallows. But even Deathly Hallows, simultaneously shows you what's happening in Hogwarts whilst the trio is going around looking for the Horcruxes. So yeah, one could just go on and on. Like for instance, again I'll quote the fourth movie, where the first task, the dragon task, is pretty much on point. The second task is also pretty much on point. They show it in the best detail possible, which comes close to the books. But in the third task, like the maze, where they're going to eventually get the cup, and there's the big reveal. They could not do it justice, because the last task is filled with a lot of riddles and a lot of creatures, and they just did not have the time, and you could just see on screen that they're just trying to wrap it up. Let's just finish it. Same thing with the Chase of the Horcruxes. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna binge on the series. And all in all, Daniel Radcliffe, Emma Watson, Rupert Grint, Ralph Fiennes, all these guys, I'm sure they're wishing the current cast well and giving them their blessing. And so do we. I mean, go ahead. Harry Potter is something which is a legacy and it should be passed on. And I definitely, at least I can speak for myself, my childhood would have been incomplete had it not been for Harry Potter. I'm still obsessed. So yeah, it's something which is very personal to us. So let's see how it works, how it plays out. It's looking good so far. But only Christmas will tell what they have for us in the real offering once you unwrap the gift box, pun intended. So cheers to Harry Potter, more power to HBO Max and J.K. Rowling. Salute. Lumos, Alhamora, Expecto Patronum. Can't wait. Keep watching Lumos Talkies.